Filipovic are both 6'7".
Underway here in the WAC Conference USA Challenge. New Mexico State back home after the loss against Texas, the first of 5 in a row here at the Pan Am. Southern Utah averaging almost 80 points per game. That shot misfires for Dominic Ford, rebounded by Christian Cook. Aggies averaging just under 73 per game. But boy, did they shoot it well 2 games ago in the pit, especially from 3. Making 14 threes in that big win against UNM. Filipovic down low, and he banks it in.
He's just got a good nose for the basket. He really goes after it.
Filipovic, double figures in 5 of the previous 7. Zaudy Jackson defends Tavy Jackson. Dominique Ford, one of the better three-point shooters, misses it short. Cleared by Jackson. Carpenter in transition. He buries it.
He's got that quick release at him, and when he's on balance, he's got that quick release, and he can get hot and really change the game. Maybe this will be his night.
He's been coming off the bench. That worked against UNM. He struggled against Texas last Thursday in that loss in Austin. Here's Brock Felder, exchanges in the corner for Jamari Sibley. He's a post player, Russ, who will shoot it from 3. That's his 10th make. Aggie fans have seen him before. He's a former UTEP Miner.
Yeah, and he was playing guard for the Miners. I think it's just that Southern Utah's a little bit undersized.
And that screen is illegal on Filipovic. Jason Hooten shakes his head and says no. Our officiating crew, Courtney Green, Blanca Burns, and Lucas Santos here tonight.
Yeah, he turned a little bit, Filipovic.
Really no bad losses this year for the Thunderbirds. No great wins, but no bad losses for them. The losses against Illinois, Chicago, UCLA, and Arizona. All games on the road. Sibley, deep 2. Missed it short, might have been touched. Saved by Carpenter to Christian Cook. Filipovic open in the short corner. Felder defends. He's a crafty post player. Fadeaway jumper splashes in for Filipovic, who has 4.
And he may be able to have his way with Felder, who's plenty big enough, but not quite as quick as Filipovic.
2 games ago in the pit, the Aggies shot 52% from the field. This is a hot start on offense. Leaking out is Cook, who jams it.
Filipovic doing a little bit of everything.
If you're Rob Jeter for the Thunderbirds, you have to worry about a little bit of rust. They haven't played in a while. Finals week last week in Cedar City. First game in 9 days for Southern Utah. Blown out in their most recent game. That's a tough shot for Simpson. Grabbed by Bostic. Numbers if they hurry. Cook in transition. Filipovic is open. Bostic will swing it for him. Jackson fires a 3. High clearance there by Sibley. 3 minutes in, 9-3 Aggies. Sibley fakes the 3, working inside on Filipovic. Post touch for Felder. Averages only 4.5 points a game. Felder trying to tip it out. Good hustle shown by Cook. Under 10 to shoot for Southern Utah. This is Tavy Jackson. High hedge Carpenter. And they throw it away. Aggies force a turnover. They don't force many. They only force 10 per game.
No, but they've got Southern Utah a little bit rattled here.
Russ, would you worry about that if you had to take off finals week and you didn't play for over a week?
I would, of course, but as you know, Rob Jeter's a highly experienced coach. I'm not going to second guess him. He's the winningest coach in Wisconsin-Milwaukee history.
Cook to the rim. Doesn't do that a ton. Fancy finish for Christian Cook.
Well, I think Cook is playing with a new confidence. I felt like in the last, up at the pit and even at Texas, he seemed to have gotten in his rhythm quite a bit more than he was early in the season.
Cook averaging 24.5 per game in his previous 2 against 2 quality foes in the pit and then in Austin. Fade away, too heavy for Simpson. Couple Aggies reaching for it. It'll leak out to Jackson. It's going to leave a player open in the corner. They'll push it to him. That is Ford out of the corner. He won't miss that much. His team best 25th, made 3.
Yeah, I don't think the Aggies want to leave Dominic Ford. He's the Idaho transfer, but he's really come on here in Cedar City.
Ford, the top scorer a year ago in his first year with Southern Utah. Second best scorer this year, and that foul is called. Russ, you've known the Owens family for a long, long time. A nice treat to see Tennessee and his dad, Casey, both here at the Pan Am tonight.
Yeah, Casey's now a scout for the Utah Jazz. And, of course, we were very sorry to hear about the loss of Dr. John Owens, the beloved ag professor. He was an entomologist, the study of bugs,
yes,
for those of you who are phys ed majors like me. And but John Owens passed away sadly about 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, Tennessee with a very bright future, I think.
And on the other bench is one of his former teammates, Sean Buchanan. There's Sean. Boy, those were some fun teams to watch, weren't they, Russ?
That's right, and they're sort of part of the Chris Jans coaching tree,
yeah,
I suppose.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. I remember you saying that Tennessee had a clipboard in his hands when he was, what, 5 or 6, Russ, as a young kid, following his dad Casey around.
Yes, I remember being at dinner with him when he was 4 or 5 years old, and he was drawing plays on a napkin. But there might be 11 X's and 7 O's, but he just seemed to be very interested in the game. And of course, he's very close with his father. And of course, Casey is a fantastic coach. It's won everywhere he's been.
Good to see Tennessee doing well, and good to catch up with him pregame tonight. Some new players in. Lorenzo Abelar now in for Southern Utah. Emmanuel Shimanga and Gabe Pickens now in for New Mexico State in the home whites. On defense, under 10 to shoot for the Thunderbirds. And off to Simpson. A slow start for him. He averages 17 a game. Excellent defense by Bostic. Simpson won't get it away.
Bostic really turning up the heat defensively.
Breakout game in the pit a week and a half ago for Bostic. He was a big part of that win, especially in overtime. And Russ, he's playing well in offense, and he's playing well on defense right now too.
Oh, he's bought in. It looks like he's bought in defensively. That's pretty rabid defense there.
Carl Sharon-Font, some early minutes for number 5 in white. He's only played 17 total minutes in the previous 3 games combined. We'll see if Sharon-Font can play well and earn some more minutes the rest of the way. Emmanuel Shimanga exchanges for the freshman Gabe Pickens. Really good start shooting the ball for the Aggies here tonight. They'll trap Pickens. Backdoor, Sharon-Font struggles on the catch. Lost it, leaks out to Hersey Miller, the Louisville transfer who just came in off the Thunderbirds bench. He throws it off the backboard, intended for JT Langston Jr., who's in off the bench. Sharon-Font wing to wing for Pickens. Shimanga should have a mismatch down low if he can utilize it. Shimanga on the catch, leans in, he's stripped away by Miller. Good defense by Hersey Miller. Simpson lobs it. A lot of contact there on the catch for Malik Lamine. Langston here in the high post, defended by Sharon-Font. A lot of turnovers early on for the Thunderbirds, a couple of shot clock violations. Only have 6 to shoot. Backdoor for Abelar. The officials really letting them play. This is physical. Not a lot of whistles. Another Thunderbirds turnover. That is their 5th.
But it's an example of how out of sync they are. They're looking for Abelar at about 4 feet from the basket where he's not going to do much damage. He can't get his shot up there, but it's just that the Aggie defense has been so intense up to this point. That's all they can get away with.
Jason Hooten going deep into his bench. Jaden Harris comes in. A lot of subs have played so far. Rotation was a little bit shorter 2 games ago in the pit. Shimanga trips. Trying to grab it on the hardwood. The Aggies in a funk right now offensively, trying to search for that rhythm they had early. We get a held ball, and possession will stay with the Aggies in the white. See where the offense comes from here with Cook on the bench, Carpenter on the bench, Filipovic on the bench. 3 of the better scorers so far this year. Still a lot of options though. Zigzagging is Jackson on the reverse, missed it, put back try no good. That was Sharon-Font on the putback attempt. A nice move by Zalt, he just couldn't finish. The defense really tight on this end. Out near midcourt, Abelar. Reverse layup is good for Jameer Simpson, his first bucket on his third shot attempt.
A nice pass by Abelar there. Boy, he's lightning quick.
Foul away from the ball down low. That is a big man tussle down there between Lamine, who's 6'11", and Shimanga, who's a 7-footer. Sharon Font going off. Filipovic coming in. Rob Jeter in his second year in Cedar City on the bench for the Thunderbirds. Took over for Todd Simon, who did really well. Todd got the head job at Bowling Green. Filipovic leans in. He has 6.
And Adam, the Aggies have been so good defensively. It's a shame they're not up 15 at this point. It's just they've struggled on the offensive end themselves.
That snap to scoreless round of almost 4 minutes. This firing is Miller. Foul again on Southern Utah. Shimanga is doing a good job against Malik Lamine. He just forces him into his second personal foul, so that matchup of the big men right now, Shimanga's winning that.
Yeah, and I think they expected Lamine to have a good, he's the Grambling transfer, and I think they expected him to have a good year.
Both head coaches kind of recycling players in and out. Miller and Abelar going to the Southern Utah bench. Felder's back in. Ford also back in. 2-possession Aggie lead, trying to extend it. About 8 minutes into half one. This is Bostic. Ball screen, Shimanga. Long 2 on the step back for Deontay. Way off. Harris saves it, chucks it out for Filipovic. The reset with Bostic. To the rim, bounces off the defender. Got it blocked by Felder, his WAC high 20th of the year. He's a little bit undersized, only 6'8", but he can really block shots. Ford trying to flip it for Langston. Bostic making it tough. Under 10 to shoot again for Southern Utah. This has been a theme. Simpson can't find a crease. What a finish.
Boy, tough
Spectacular defense by Harris. You couldn't do any better.
Yeah, Jaden Harris got a hand on that, and Simpson still got it in.
Every possession has been really good so far for NM State on defense. Shimanga hands it off to Zardy Jackson, and the screen is illegal. Lauren Shimanga, that's that brush screen that the officials won't let go anymore. The Aggie lead down to 3. 13-10. Southern Utah in town out of Cedar City. 1-possession game, 9 minutes in, half one. Earn every single made field goal right now. They've only made 4 field goals, and they've been earned on their trips down the floor.
I mean, it is really nearly frantic how hard the Aggies are playing defense here.
Aggies coming off a 24-point road loss at Texas last Thursday. The catch by Jackson, back out of the arc for Sibley, who's connected twice from 3, and we're tied at 13. Well-traveled collegiate career for Jamari Sibley. He was at Georgetown, then UTEP, and now he's at Southern Utah in his second year with the Thunderbirds. Carpenter's back in. Carpenter on the catch, hands it off. Jaden Harris will trigger a 3, and he knocks it down. Simpson to the rim, and he draws some contact. He is really good at getting to the free throw line. He attempts nearly 6 free throws per game. And you can tell, Russ, he has a bigger body and he's really crafty.
Yes, as we see Jaden Harris knocked it in, but was it Jaden Harris on that last foul, though?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But yeah, Simpson is from Wisconsin Parkside, where another Aggie great, Coach Thomas Trotter, played at Wisconsin Parkside, that did such a great job with us when Lou Henson was coaching.
Wisconsin Parkside Division II, but that D2 to D1, that's worked. It's worked for Jason Hooten as well with a lot of players, including Christian Cook.
Yes.
And Zardy Jackson, most notably. Simpson sat out a year ago at Southern Utah, and now this year he's averaging 17 a game.
And it looks like Southern Utah in his zone here. Maybe a 1-2-2 or a 3-2.
They'll leave Filipovic open briefly. Harris out of the corner, back out for Cook. Can't get it lined up. Push in the corner, and the three by Harris is blocked. Second block for Felder, who once again leads the WAC with 21 blocks for the year. Russ, it's not always size blocking shots. Sometimes it's timing.
Oh, yes, and Felder's got terrific timing.
Filipovic rumbles down the key out of the high post, gets the defender in the air.
Just when
Felder.
Just when I talked about Felder's timing, and I was about to say how smart he was, but he left his feet there. Although Filipovic seems to do that to a lot of people. The head fake's an important part of Filipovic's game.
Not a lot of players utilize it anymore, but Filipovic does a lot.
Oh yes, it's a big part of his game. He's he's a little bit undersized compared to the bigger guys, but he's got a beautiful shot, and he can make his free throws. And remember, Adam, let's not forget, he was hurt for about a month before. I think he's going to keep getting better.
Yep. Missed a lot of preseason practice time. Did not play in the season opener. Was kind of on a minutes restriction early as well. Was still getting back in shape, and he's getting there, but not all the way there yet. Sibley, who's already made 2 threes. Digging there inside is Jackson. Back out for Ford. Long. Carpenter, who leads the Aggies in rebound. Snatches it. He averages 7 a game. He's really increased his rebounding production this year. The spin by Filipovic. Back out for Zardi. Carves inside. Pushes out for Cook. Step back out of the corner. Swirls away. Pulled in by Felder. Nearly stolen by Cook. That's Aggie ball. Great defense by Cook in the backcourt.
A risky move, but it paid off for him. You know, in general, Jason Hooten wants his players getting back as soon as the ball changes hands. But Christian Cook took a chance there and it paid off.
Langston back in for Southern Utah. They are 8-3 this year. Off to a good start in year 2 for Rob Jeter. Grand Canyon, of course, the favorite again in the WAC this year, but Southern Utah should really compete. Filipovic leans in, missed it short. Pretty good look. He has 8 early on. Can't connect there. His first missed field goal. Tipped out of bounds. It will stay with Southern Utah.
And Christian Cook is making things happen defensively. He deflected that one out of bounds.
If the Aggies play this well on this end of the floor, they're going to win a lot of games this year. The defense has been excellent. Sibley back outside for Jackson. Back rim no good on his 3. Harris.
Great hustle by Harris.
And that was a good save right to his teammate Carpenter. Heads up play. Cook to the rim. Finger roll is good. A couple of shots down low in the interior for Cook.
I think that, there was a bit of a drought. He wasn't in a terrible slump, but he just wasn't getting untracked early in the season. But he seems to be really coming on strong now.
Nearly forces another turnover. That will stay with the Thunderbirds on the baseline.
Look at this body control, Adam. Pretty nice.
This should open up for Cook because you have to defend the 3. If Cook's open on the arc, you're doing something wrong. So you have to really overplay out there on the 3, and then you should get options down low. Ford to the rim, finishes +1. A little too easy there for Dominique Ford, the transfer from Idaho. First on Carpenter, free throw coming up for an 85% free throw shooter with Dominique Ford. A lot of Vegas natives for the Thunderbirds. They are located in Cedar City, Utah. Still relatively new to the WAC. They've only been in the WAC since July of 2022. Carpenter out of the corner, contested 3, might have rushed it. And no board for Harris, an 18-footer swishes it in.
Nice and easy for Jaden Harris. But Carpenter's a little bit streaky, isn't he? He drilled the first one, airballed the second.
Bottom side of the rim there on the shot. Picked up by the Aggies. Miss from Kai Burdick. Floater for Jackson, spins off. Langston clears. Cross-court feed, a dangerous pass. Jackson to the rim, double clutches and scores.
Pretty good body control by Tavy Jackson.
The Aggies have led by as many as 8. That was early when it was 11-3. Good amount of turnovers on both sides. Both teams have shot it pretty well. Filipovic on the pick and the pop. He surges inside. Heavy, put back good. Carpenter has been so good on the offensive glass all year.
And I think that's going to be the key. If the Aggies are going to go small like they are now, Carpenter and Filipovic have to do a great job on the offensive boards.
Legal screen, a lot of those early on. It's called on Langston. Job at Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Did a really good job recently at Western Illinois in Macomb as their head coach.
Where nobody seems to do any well. And I mean, Wisconsin-Milwaukee's never really recovered from Rob Jeter leaving. But also, Adam, of course, you know, his father was Bob Jeter that played for the Green Bay Packers on those Super Bowl teams, played for Vince Lombardi.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Turnover on Pickens. Another cool storyline as well is Rob Jeter coached under Marvin Menzies briefly for a couple of years at UNLV.
Yeah.
Preston Laird, who is on the Aggie staff, was also on that staff with Rob Jeter. So a lot of connections for this matchup. And then, of course, like we talked about earlier, Rob Jeter has a former Aggie on his staff, Tennessee Owens. Southern Utah had a lot of success a couple of years ago under Todd Simon and Todd's last year. He got the Bowling Green job, and then Jeter took over. Threading the needle, Bostic finds a sprinting Carpenter.
That was a brilliant pass by Deontay Bostic. And just Rob Carpenter, can really run the floor.
Bostic to the rim, he stripped away. Jackson got his hand on it. Cherry picking his Sibley. He'll dunk it right around Christian Cook.
Yeah, and I thought usually when Deontay Bostic gets that close to the basket, he's pretty dangerous, but he got stripped there.
It's Pickens, Cook, Carpenter, Bostic, and Filipovic right now for the Aggies on offense. Pickens whips it out for Carpenter. Pick and pop for Carpenter. He does that a lot. Missed it short. Just 1 for 3 from 3 in this one. Aggies have defended Simpson pretty well. He has the ball in his hands right now. Pickens got his hand on it. Fight for the loose ball. We will get a held ball. Southern Utah has possession. That is one of the things Pickens does well. He really applies good ball pressure.
Yes. And I think that's the reason he's got a bright future with Jason Hooten's team, just because we're talking about Gabe Pickens. He can really defend.
Jason Hooten really likes defense first point guards. He had a lot of those during his tenure at Sam Houston. Sibley's had a good night. 10 now for Sibley. He only averages 7 a game. He should be comfortable in this building. He's played in it before when he was a UTEP minor. Stagnant possession here offensively. Bostic will try to create mismatch. Defended by Felder. Carpenter out of the corner. Too strong.
That's a tough one. You know, it wasn't a great pass by Deontay Bostic, and to shoot it off a bad pass is a really difficult thing to do.
Simpson whips it out. Jackson wide open. Pickens didn't recover quick enough. High rebound for Bostic. 5-on-4 if he hurries. Filipovic slithers, spins. Left-handed finger roll no good. The backboard was wiggling. Either Sibley or Carpenter touched it. Aggies in a big drought on offense. Haven't scored in over 2 minutes. Backdoor, the catch and the score for Jackson on the find by Simpson. Threes for the Aggies. They have missed 4 in a row from 3. First action for Nate Shimanga, number 19 in white. He's in for the first time tonight. Cook, Jackson, Filipovic, and Bostic joining Nate Shimanga. Bostic from the corner. Knocks down the three, and that's a play by design by Jason Hooten out of the timeout.
That's right, and it also shows how little your color analyst knows. I was just saying they've got to go inside, and Deontay Bostic drills a three.
Simpson double teamed on the arc. Felder, nice seal right around the 6-foot Zaudy Jackson in the interior.
Well, that's happened a few times as Nate Chimanga. He's helping, but he helps great, but doesn't quite recover in time.
Bostic gets the defender in the air, lines up a three straight on. Bump no call. Nate Chimanga trying to tap it out, can't do so. And here comes Lorenzo Abelar for Southern Utah. Simpson. No good. Tip is good. That is JT Langston Jr. using his 6'8" length. Southern Utah with their first lead of the game. The Aggies have led by as many as 8. Cook curls around a screen and swishes in the three. That's the shot you want.
Yes. But forget about going inside, Adam. They're gonna make threes here at the end of the half.
Well, the second attempted three-pointer for Cook. He's 1 for 2, and Jackson gets called for a foul on the arc. But that is only the Aggies' 5th here in half one. That's one of the changes here tonight. They have fouled a lot this year, among the most in the country, but the Aggies have done a really good job in the first half of defending without fouling tonight. Part of that is how the officials have officiated this game.
Yeah, it's been a little bit more rugged of a game, but the Aggies have done a good job of staying out of foul trouble. Or putting Southern Utah in the bonus is probably the way to say it.
Simpson to Abelar. Jump stops inside. Fans wanted to travel. Three is short. High clearance by Carpenter. Rips in his 4th board. He has 7 points. Under 2 left, lead is 2. Bostic, Cook, Carpenter, Nate Chimanga, and Harris right now for the Aggies on offense. Aguilar trying to switch it. Bostic down low, missed it, got it back, puts it up, no good. Fighting for the rebound, forces a jump ball and gets possession back.
Well, he came out of nowhere to grab that rebound. I think Deontay Bostic's a little frustrated with himself.
But he got the ball back, and now Zaudy Jackson will come in for Deontay Bostic. Jackson the inbounder. Oh, Carpenter was open, he missed him. Harris defended by Miller. Step back fadeaway 2, short. And a foul is called in the backcourt on Nate Chimanga, just the 6th. No free throws yet for Southern Utah. Now we're going to see Edward Namako for the first time tonight. Hasn't been used a lot. Very sparingly since the first couple of games this year. Decent matchup, though, for Namako defending JT Langston, who's only 6'8". Namako defends him up here at the top of the key. Hand off to Simpson. Simpson to Abelar. On the baseline, the spin move by Miller. Back out for Simpson, launches a 3 over Carpenter. Great box out by Namako, the rebound for Cook.
Yeah, Namako had no chance to get it, but he kept his man from getting it. Really smart play.
Harris to the rim, finger roll, swirls away. The Aggies have had a couple of those down the stretch.
Yeah, they just can't get it to go down.
NM State has missed 4 in a row as far as field goal attempts. Fadeaway 3 is good out of the court. Harris, Jackson, and Carpenter. Southern Utah now shooting 48%, 4 for 12 from 3. Aggies at 41%, 4 for 11 from deep. Going to take a late lead here in the first half. Cook Namako didn't get open quick enough. It was the right idea, but Namako couldn't get around his defender to get open there in the low right block.
Well, I was sort of fooled too. I thought Christian Cook would shoot that one, but it was very unselfish play of him, but Namako just wasn't ready for it.
Shot clock off, Sibley back in. He has a good first half offensively with 10 points. Ford, Southern Utah can have the final shot of the half. Cook defends Ford tightly as he crosses the midcourt line. Aggies don't want to foul here to put Southern Utah to the free throw line though. Ford, high hedge Namako, Sibley reverses back to Sibley. Gets Namako in the air, gets it away, missed it. So New Mexico State gets a stop to end the half.
You really get to know a bunch of different offenses.
Southern Utah wearing the red. They will start an offense in half two. Issue with the game clock not starting, it looks like.
Oh, we'll restart it.
Courtney Green, Lucas Santos, and Blanca Burns are three officials. Aggies have lost 6 of their previous 7 after a very impressive 3-0 start to the year. All right, now they will reset it for 1957, and Southern Utah will inbound again. Let's see if Jackson makes it tough. He does. Tavy Jackson. Zaudy Jackson guarding Tavy Jackson. Southern Utah nearly throws it away. Cook wasn't aware. Jameer Simpson, transfer from Division II, Wisconsin Parkside. He's going to back down on Cook. Fadeaway's blocked. Simpson gets it back, leans in. Offensive rebound for Felder. Pop loose by Filipovic. Saves it right to Sibley. Felder down low, and then Simpson stripped again by Cook.
Boy, Cook and Simpson are really going at it.
Zaudy Jackson, Robert Carpenter, Peter Filipovic, Christian Cook, Deontay Bostic. First possession on offense in half two. 7 to shoot. Jackson on the spin, out of the corner. Filipovic has to release, got rim, missed it. And Ford snatches it in and then gets away with a travel in the backcourt. Backdoor for Felder. On the arc to Jackson. His three is too strong, and then Filipovic clears. A little sluggish on both ends to start this half. Cook slips. I try to get a timeout here. They call it jump ball. Aggies have the arrow.
Boy, and remember how out of sync Southern Utah looked early, and now it's the Aggies that just cannot seem to get untracked offensively. And I have to think it's the Rob Jeter's defense as well as maybe Tennessee Owens' scouting report.
Jackson gets the defender in the air. Pull up is good right around Sibley.
And that's his first basket at him.
He had only 2 assists. I'm with you, Russ. He needs to facilitate more in this half to create shots for Cook and Carpenter. Lead change number 4. Sibley lost the ball in the air. Filipovic chucks it ahead for Cook. Transition 3. Bingo!
Really a smart decision. Smart decision. And there's a little bit of zone pressure again here.
Not a lot of players around the country would have the green light like that for Cook, but he has it. Offensive rebound, Sibley. Simpson in the key. Back to Sibley on the arc. That's a tough shot on a fadeaway. Airballed it. Carpenter, sling ahead for Bostic. Waiting for his teammates. Exchange for Jackson, step back 3. Yes! Timeout, Rob Jeter. Sluggish start in the first, 97. Zaudy was 22 a game at the D2 level a year ago at West Georgia. Simpson was tight roping the sideline, and Filipovic bumped him. And Jackson's not going to be 20 a game here, but if he can give you 12 or 13 a game, you'll take it.
That's right. And I don't mean to suggest that he hasn't been playing hard or playing smart. It's just that Southern Utah is really, really focused on stopping him.
Thunderbirds scoreless in this half. Aggies have outscored them 8-0 in the half. Simpson, too strong. Felder tips it around, and Filipovic, as he always does, wins the loose ball.
Yeah, but that's in a crowd with guys 3 inches bigger than him.
Jackson facilitates and finishes.
And I think right there, just him getting to the basket will really open things up for the Aggies if he can keep getting into the teeth of the defense like that.
7 in this half for Zaudy, nothing in half 1. Felder, shot put, jump hook, drops in for Felder. He has 4 for Southern Utah, right at his season average. First points in the half for the Thunderbirds. The Aggies also started off well in half 1 when they led 11-3. And outscored Southern Utah 10-2 in the half. Spinning Filipovic, and he lays it in.
Wow, beautiful move.
Player open, that is Simpson. That's not the player you want to leave open. Back door, that's a tough pass. Last touch by Carpenter, not Ford. Fans thought it was Ford.
Pretty great balance there by Peter Filipovic.
Super skilled, big man out of Hungary. He will have a long, long pro career when he's done here. His lone season in the Aggie program, a great find in the transfer portal. Led Maine in scoring and rebounding a year ago. That's tipped by Bostic and then grabbed in the corner by Cook. Cook, and 1 on the fake. 1 free throw for Christian Cook coming out of the timeout. Trying to complete the 3-point play. He had 27 in the pit 2 games ago, 22 at Texas last Thursday. He can really fill it up. You know, Russ, we've seen some really good games in the pit by Aggies over the years. I think back to the A.J. Harris game about 6 years ago when he scored 31 in the pit. It was last touch by Zaudy Jackson. You've seen a lot of pit games. Was that one of the better individual performances that you've seen?
I thought so. And what really stuck with me is I think the Aggies were down on their luck going into the game. They had every reason to sort of fold their tent. Remember, they lost so badly up there last year where it wasn't even close. And so it surprised me in the best ways. And you know, one of the things we love about college basketball is that it's, especially in the big rivalry games, you can just throw out any scouting reports and predictions and that kind of thing.
I was talking to Sean Buchanan last Monday at our radio coaches show, and Sean said he puts that Cook performance right up there with the A.J. Harris 31-point performance about 6 years ago. 3 is good for Ford. And, of course, Buchanan was a player when A.J. scored 31 in the pit, and he was a coach.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago when Christian Cook scored 27 inside the pit. Filipovic spins on the baseline. Going to work on Langston, trying to bully his way down low. Here's Bostic. He'll get physical. Leans in, contact, and Bostic is hammered.
Boy, they are tough inside Southern Utah. They're very physical.
Foul is on J.T. Langston. Russ, do you watch Netflix much?
I do. What do you like?
Did you watch Last Chance U, that series?
Is that the football one?
The basketball one.
It was football
originally.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, East LA.
Yeah, I saw bits and pieces. Was the whole series good?
Yeah, J.T. Langston was part of that series
for
East LA a couple of years ago. And he went to Division I at Rider University. Now he's at Southern Utah. Deontay Bostic trying to put the Aggies up 11. Began his career at Murray State, played for the Racers out of Clearwater, Florida. Danger zone here for Southern Utah early on in half 2. Lamine down low to a cutting Miller. Was looking for a reverse layup, and he was fouled going up.
Boy, nice execution by Southern Utah there.
They can pass it, can't they?
Yes, and they really execute.
Percy Miller, a transfer from Louisville. He's out of LA. 78% free throw shooter. We haven't seen many free throws attempted either side so far. Southern Utah now 3 for 4. New Mexico State 5 for 5. Carpenter goes off and Emmanuel Shimanga comes in. One more for Miller, who averages 8 a game. Scoreless so far tonight. Gets his first point. Pickens, Cook, Filipovic, Bostic, and Emmanuel Shimanga for the Aggies on offense. They've outscored Southern Utah by 11 so far in this half. Cook trying to find an angle, mismatch. Langston defends. Pickens, backdoor to Emmanuel Shimanga. Good footwork. The big man able to finish.
Wow, that was the best offensive series that I've seen from Emmanuel Shimanga this year. Just really under control, good footwork, good timing, good balance.
Scoreless in 2 of the previous 3 games, coming in his first points tonight. Abelar skips it for Langston. Back to Abelar. Only his second attempted 3 all year. He has missed both. And it bounces away out of bounds. The Aggies will have the possession. They have made 7 straight shots from the field.
And Abelar, he had another assist before. He's about 6-1 now on assist turnover. Maybe not a great 3-point shooter, it appears, but boy, he gave them a big boost. And Shimanga completely under control there. That's a tough one for a big guy. A little head fake and one dribble and head fake again.
Aggies 7 for 8 from the field in this half. Filipovic, Jaden Harris now in. Filipovic, mismatch here. Jackson defends. He has 6 inches on him. And he's hammered. Take advantage of it. Well done by the veteran, Peter Filipovic.
And Tavy Jackson did all he could. He's a little bit outsized there. He's in pretty good position.
Russ, it does seem like there's a greater emphasis at trying to get to the free throw line here in this half early on.
Well, that's what I was asking for at the end of the first half, but the Aggies don't always hear me over here for some reason, Adam.
You still think like a coach.
Well,
more than you give yourself credit for.
I
Russ.
know. I'd like to get out of it and watch it as a fan because this is a fun team to watch. But they are going inside much more, and it was the threes that opened it up. They started the half with a couple threes from Christian Cook and Zodie Jackson.
A lot of fresh bodies coming in. Carl Sharon-Font now in. Harris and Pickens just came in moments ago. Seems like Jason Hooten going a little bit deeper than what he did the last couple of games. Aggies with their largest lead. They lead by 14. They trailed by 1 at halftime. Ford, the finger roll. High finish, high off the window.
Beautiful move by Dominic Ford. And Adam, we've talked about it. Sharon-Font didn't play much last year at Memphis, but he can really move defensively. He's very active. He's got the long arms. He's smart. And I think by the end of his career, I think Sharon-Font will be our best defensive player.
Nice little pick and roll game there between Pickens and Shimanga. And a foul is called on the rebound. Attacked the entire way.
Yes, I think that's right. And just a tough schedule going to Dayton, one of the best teams in the country.
Bostic bounces for a cutting Harris. And he throws it away. Bostic couldn't receive it. One of the rare miscues in this half offensively.
But Southern Utah turning up a notch defensively again.
One of the big keys right now for New Mexico State is do not get complacent with a lead of 12. Southern Utah more than capable of coming from behind with a 12-point deficit with a lot of time left. This would be a quality win, though, for New Mexico State. Thunderbirds 8-3. Only losses against Loyola, Chicago, UCLA, and Arizona, all on the road. They're a perfect 6-0 at home in Cedar City. Sharon-Font rips it in, pushes ahead. Harris thought about it, goes cross court to Cook. Ford was late to get there, catches a break. Jackson hesitates. Jackson to the rim. Bounces off the defender. Hard fall by Zaudy. He is okay. And the Aggies will get to the free throw line once again.
Boy, he's so physical for a point guard. He really takes a beating.
He will usually kick that out.
Yes.
But it seems like in this second half, he's looking for his offense a little bit more.
No, and I think that's the right decision at this point as well.
Transfer from Division II, West Georgia. Just a fascinating journey, a fascinating young man. Was actually cut from a Division II during that COVID time to start his collegiate career. Battled back, went to a JUCO, then went back to D2 to West Georgia. Finds himself at Division I starting in his final year collegiately. Had him on a podcast about a month ago. I said, what do you do when you're not playing basketball? He said, I'm watching basketball. Trying to find ways to grow and learn. Likes watching other players to see how they do things. Foulies aren't sharing font. That will send us to a media. It was
perfect defensively. Southern Utah shooting just 23% from the floor this half, and it shows that's what the reason the Aggies have been able to build a 13-point lead.
Aggies are on defense. Simpson only has 6. He has the ball in his hands right now. He averages 17 a game. Wow. They run a play for Ford. That is his 4th made 3, and another tough made 3 for Dominique Ford. Sharon Font sprints into the forecourt. Picked up his dribble, flips it for the point guard Jackson, who's trapped out by midcourt, so the pressure revved up by the Thunderbirds. Carpenter sneaks by Felder, who blocks it away. His 3rd block. Once again, he's only 6'8", but the timing is perfect.
You're right, Adam. He's got terrific timing, and he's not a great leaper. He's not huge. He's only 6'9", maybe, is he?
6'8" listed.
Yeah.
The best shot blocker right now in the WAC. Fade away from Cook. Christian Cook has 17.
This is the Christian Cook we were all hoping for and expecting in his last year, and I think he's really turned the corner in the last couple weeks.
8 of those 17 in this half for Cook. Felder offensively, he is stripped by Sharon Font, and then a foul is called. Shots coming up for Felder.
And Jason Newton annoyed on the sideline as we see Christian Cook just drill it there, but Carpenter, if you're going to let Felder catch the ball at 2 feet, there's not going to be much, nothing good's going to happen for the Aggies.
Russ, a couple of times a year ago you said it almost seems like Cook is better off balance when he's not really set and he's kind of drifting away. Well, sometimes he's a better shooter that way.
That's right. I think when he has to think about it too much, when he has to think about it too much, because he has great instincts. He's naturally a smart player offensively.
You've seen some really good shooters here over the years. Eric Channing, Gordo Castillo, Brad Bester, right? A really good shooter as well. Where does he kind of rank among some of those really good shooters that you saw some years ago?
Well, I think he's right up there. Now, Channing was near 50% for his career, but he had Lou Henson setting screen after screen after screen. He had Aaron Broke, the best screener that ever played college basketball, in my view.
Jackson blocked. Can't forget about Lofton and Teddy Allen. Some of those guys as well. More recent, of course. Leaks out to Cook. Watch out in transition. He might pull up. Fade away from the free throw line. Slips off. Felder got back, and he got whacked by Carpenter on the rebound attempt.
Not intentional, and that's the kind of foul you like to see, that he's Robert Carpenter going hard after the ball.
Yeah, he crashes hard on the offensive glass. He had 8 offensive rebounds earlier this year in a game against UNLV. It was foul number 7 as a team, so 1-1 for Felder. That's the 4th on Carpenter individually. I wonder if the Aggie bench is aware of that, because for now he's going to stay in. There's a foul earlier on Sharon Font. That should have been his 3rd. I wonder if There was a misidentification. That should only be 3 on Carpenter. He was given the foul earlier. That should have been on Sharon Font. That should only be 3 for Carpenter. Taking a pop for Carpenter. Short on the 3. Offensive rebound Harris and poked away by Ford. Let's see if they correct that at the scorer's table. It should be only 3 on Carpenter. Ford's had a good half. He's had a good night. 17 for him, matching Cook for game high honors. Picked up his dribble. Back door, pass deflected, hit the rim. No change in possession, shot clock at 4. Do the Thunderbirds know it? Simpson does, and he knocks down the 3 with 1 left on the timer.
Well, crucial decision by Brock Felder, because he could have shot it, but with time running down, he made a good decision.
Jackson on the spin. It's been a tough night for Carpenter. 1 for 5 from 3, 3 for 8 from the field. Good post entry to Filipovic. He is held before he caught it. Only foul number 6, though, on Southern Utah. That's just a backbreaker, Russ, because you play good defense for 28, 29 seconds, and Simpson gets a pretty good look at the very end. 7-0 Thunderbirds run over the previous 146. A steal for Ford at midcourt. He's going to lay it in. And this run grows to a 9-0 run.
Yeah, and now we've got a game here. It's a 5-pointer.
Filipovic to the rim, lost it. Caught by Shimanga. Might have had a block there by Simpson from behind. Southern Utah can tie it here with a 3. Simpson to the rim, shot no good. Felder grabs it, maneuvers around Shimanga and scores. Little token pressure by Southern Utah, kind of slowing things down. Jason Hooten will call a timeout.
That's right. It's been a game of spurts, and Southern Utah has just been really intense defensively, and have outscored the Aggies something like 15-1 here in the last few minutes.
Jackson, Cook, Emmanuel Shimanga, Filipovic, and Bostic right now. Shot clock winding down to 5. Cook lost it. He was going to be wide open, and he lost the handle.
But I think you're onto something there. I do think you'd mentioned that before. Is when he finds himself too wide open, it's almost like he's surprised, because usually teams are focused on stopping him.
Ford is one of the best players on the floor tonight. He has 19 for Southern Utah, and he's going to use a timeout. That will not be easy travel tomorrow for Southern Utah. Ford misfires, last touched by Felder. Yep, it's going to be Aggie ball. It's hard to keep track of who's in what conference nowadays, but UTRGV did move to the Southland.
You're telling me.
Some trapping token pressure in the backcourt. Aggies break it easily with Filipovic. Let's see if Jackson can create once again. Simpson defends. Jackson surges, lost the handle. The 7-footer's trying to scoop it up off the floor. Emmanuel Shimanga. It's going to be a tie-up in Southern Utah basketball. Lorenzo Abelar returns for Southern Utah. Sibley hasn't scored yet in this half for the Thunderbirds, but Dominique Ford has had a really good half. So has Felder. Abelar runs the point for the Thunderbirds. Looking for just their 2nd road win and their most notable road win of the year. Simpson only has 9. He jump stops. He's blocked from behind by 2 players. Sprint ahead for Bostic. Jackson open, fires a wing 3, bricked it. Offensive rebound, Filipovic. Great patience down low.
Well, Well, and if you can fool Brock Felder, you're a pretty smart player.
3 fouls apiece for Sharon Font and for Carpenter. Bostic has done a good job defending Simpson. Chimanga got his hands on it. Late in the shot clock again. Sibley way short. Off the leg of Filipovic. Nice play there by Ford.
Yeah, pretty smart play by Dominic Ford. He couldn't have got it himself, but he hit it off Filipovic.
Jackson goes off. Pickens comes in. This will be a tough entry, though, out of the corner here for Sibley. With Filipovic defending. Just lobs it in for Simpson. Fresh shot clock for Southern Utah. Simpson. Hesitation. Abelar banked it in. Of course, he uses the backboard.
He's old school. But yeah, thought after he airballed it, maybe he might not even shoot the 10-footer, but that was nice and easy for Abelar.
Aggie lead back down to 1. Freshman point guard right now with Pickens. Abelar defends. Pickens can't finish, but he'll shoot free throws.
Gabe Pickens just a little bit too strong for Abelar there.
Both the Aggies and the Thunderbirds 8 for 9 from the free throw line. Aggies haven't shot it well this year from the line, 65%. Pickens 73%. He was scoreless in each of his previous 2. Hasn't played a lot recently, only 14 combined minutes in the previous 2 games. Really had a nice breakout game earlier this year against UNLV when he scored 14. 13 of those came in the first half.
And these may be his biggest free throws so far in his brief Aggie career.
I'd agree. Makes both.
No, I think he's the point guard of the future.
Yep.
With Zoddy Jackson as a senior. He's tough and he's smart. He's thick and strong. He's a good shooter.
Simpson, Filipovic helping a little bit. Fade away, 13 feet away, no good. Filipovic saves it right in front. Felder missed it, might have been blocked. Carpenter able to tightrope the end line and save it for Pickens.
But Filipovic was the classic mistake. Don't save it under your own basket.
And Filipovic overthrows Pickens. New Mexico State led by 14. And now there's been 3 or 4 of those just careless, unforced errors. Five minutes left. The Aggies looking for their 5th win. Southern Utah trying to go to 9-3. Off to a good start in year 2 under Rob Jeter. Felder on the roll, met by Filipovic. The hook will flip in. Felder with a dozen. He only averages 4.5 per game.
Yeah, he's played terrific tonight.
Out of Parowan, Utah, sophomore. Bright future for Felder. Does a lot of things well. Cook guarded by Sibley on the switch. Mismatch here with Ford defending Filipovic. Peter will try to take advantage. Fadeaway jumper for the veteran. 16. One of his better games as an Aggie. The Aggies have really needed it. Still a 1-possession game as we approach the under 4 media. Simpson loves to post up. Back out. Straightaway 3 for Jackson. Clanks it. Offensive rebound for guess who? It's Felder. And he will jam it two-handed.
Boy, and Carpenter got caught napping. That didn't happen very often. Just got beat to the ball.
Aggies up 1. The freshman point guard Pickens to the rim, and he's fouled again. It's called on Felder, his 2nd personal. No sign of Zoddy Jackson yet at the scores table, so it looks like Jason Hooten will stick with Pickens for now. Pickens 2 for 3 from the free throw line. All of his attempts have come recently, and now Jackson will check in for Gabe. Good minutes from the freshman.
Yeah, really good minutes. I just think I wouldn't be panicked about worrying about the point guard position when Zodie Jackson graduates, because Gabe Pickens, I think, is going to be able to handle the job.
Jackson defending well. Xavier Sykes just came in for the first time the entire game for Southern Utah to run the point. He's number 0 in red. He's trying to stretch out his legs in front of his bench.
What do you think that means, Adam?
I don't know.
Is he going to launch a three?
Could be. Hasn't played until now. Aggies trap forward. Felder, wraparound feed, wide open. Jamari Sibley. Felder is doing everything well. 3 helpers, 7 boards, 14 points. Tie number 3. There's also been 4 lead changes. Cook trying to get a step on Ford. Close. Spins in.
Just that soft touch.
19 for Cook, 11 in this half.
But this is incredible pressure on Sykes.
Sykes has it poked, he gets it back. He bounces in the high post for Dominique Ford. Posting up on Cook. Shot no good. Tipped out and grabbed by Jackson. He'll push. Working hard. Sykes finishes. And one. Foul on Sykes. +1 for Zodie.
When Zodie gets going, boy, he is a freight train when he gets going through the lane like that.
It's hard to hear a whistle when the building gets that loud. Foul called on Sykes. Let's see if there was much there. Oh, yeah, he got the knee. Scraped the knee of Zodie, who can finish a 3-point play. This is the sign of a good team finishing games down the stretch, especially at home. Filipovic in for Carpenter for defense.
I'm not entirely convinced that Gabe Pickens is done for the night, by the way. He played well enough, and if the Aggies need ball control here in the last few minutes, we may see him again.
Ford brings the Thunderbirds out of the backcourt. Checked by Cook. Shimanga, good hedge. Simpson, defended by the 7-footer. Rims around and pops loose. Foul on Shimanga, though. Free throws coming up for Simpson.
And Simpson over 80% from the free throw line, but he's had a hard run here. He's played a lot of minutes. He might be tired. He's played the second most minutes in the game.
The Aggies have really defended him well. Way short. Russ, he is 3 for 14 from the field. These are only his 3rd and his 4th free throw attempts. He averages 6 free throw attempts per game. They've really guarded him well.
Yeah, I think that's right. They've worn him out. He's 30 minutes. He's already played 30 minutes. He's not second in the game in terms of minutes played. And you could see it from that first free throw to shoot that short. He's tired. He's worn out.
Splits the pair. Full court pressure. Filipovic gets it in for Cook. Filipovic like an extra ball handler for a 6'7" post.
It's a real advantage because when he's taking the ball out of bounds, he's tall enough you can see over the defense a little bit.
Under 2 left. Aggies up 4 with the ball. They need a finish. Hand off to Jackson. Jackson goes away from the ball screen. Blocked by Felder. That is his 4th.
I knew that was going to happen, but I was glad Zodie did it. He didn't have any choice but to take it right at Brock Felder. Boy, he's a smart player, isn't he, Felder?
Mm-hmm. Under 10 to shoot. Cook on the curl. Fade away from the elbow. No good. Bostic grabs it. Then it popped loose. If he comes down with it, he probably finishes in the interior. Instead, Southern Utah with the ball. 95 seconds left. They trail by 4. They once trailed by 14. Simpson going to work on Cook. Simpson leans in, throws up a floater, left it short. Shimanga fighting for it. Ripped in by Filipovic.
And Filipovic in a crowd again, but Shimanga, you're right, Shimanga got a hand on it and sort of saved the day there.
Jason Hooten going a little bit bigger down the stretch with Emmanuel Shimanga. We approach a minute left. Lead is 4 with the ball. Cook, forward defense. Cook, pull up. No good off glass. Filipovic, the offensive rebound.
There you go.
Back out for Cook. He'll launch. No good. Shimanga, the offensive rebound, but a foul was called. Do you like that shot by Cook?
Well, by anybody else, I'd say no. With Cook, it's like a layup for him, but he could have, he maybe could have ran another 30 seconds off the clock there.
Russ, it's probably a dagger if he makes it, and he's one of the best three-point shooters in the West.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing. It was a gamble, but it was a good gamble for a great shooter. But now here's Simpson again at 80%. He's already missed one.
This is 1-and-1 for Simpson. I know there's going to be a lot of second guessing about that shot, but I'm with you, Russ. I think you shoot that. If you're Christian Cook, he might be the only player in the building that has the green light on a shot like that. But that could have been a dagger. One possession game.
Uh-oh. I thought that was long.
2-point game. 46 seconds left. Jackson double teamed on the inbound. Filipovic says, clear out, I got it. Fundamentals. Cook won't shoot that one. He thought about it. Won't shoot it twice.
See, we were betting on him. We were giving him the green light. But I think he did the right thing that time.
Might have been the best shot he would get in this possession, though. Jackson speeds on the baseline. Jackson leans in. Finger roll good for Zardi.
And the two Jacksons, Tavy Jackson, just got a little bit off balance there.
Jason Hooten almost ran over Courtney Green trying to call a timeout. He gets it. Lead is 4 with 17. One timeout left for both. Both teams in the double bonus on the next personal. 9 apiece. Jackson, Harris, Emmanuel Shimanga, Cook, and Filipovic right now are in defense. Ford catches the entry. Quickly into the forecourt. Ford on the spin, taking a lot of time here. Way too much time for Southern Utah. Sibley has to heave. Way off. Filipovic able to grab it with 2 seconds remaining.
And great effort by the Aggies defensively. Just all 5 Aggies, just really fantastic effort there to stifle Southern Utah.
That took too much time for the Thunderbirds. Not a good look from Sibley, who's had a good night from 3. And now 2 free throws coming up. And the shooter will be Peter Filipovic, who is a perfect 4 for 4 tonight from the free throw line.
But I liked what Rob Jeter drew up for them to get the ball. They got the ball at half court on the run. It was a smart way to advance the ball and get it on the run. But the Aggies were just too ferocious defensively.
2 possession game, 2.5 left. Thunderbirds will roll it to Tavy Jackson. Shot will count if it goes. It is good. It will count. And it's going to be a 3-point win, 72-69. I'll tell you what, too, Russ. We saw Filipovic make those free throws at the very end. This was probably Peter's best game